hit you up after this. But yeah, maybe like a racing video. I'll put it on there because YouTube is fucking retarded. But I don't want to. I can't keep talking because I don't. Even though it's not on, I'm paranoid that I don't want. Yeah, I don't want people to hear my conversation. Even though it should be. All right. Yo, what up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. We got some things to talk about. The boy Kamal Oz is up in here. Yeah. Let me finish getting set up. Shout out to my boy Kamal Oz. Let's go. Shout out to Icy. My brother Icy. Icy funny. He nasty, but he funny on the low. Kamal said, T.O. be like, the black channels, why do they do what they do? Cue to Seinfeld. Bro, T.O. out here cooked. He out here cooked. Bro, I don't want to hear pillow fisted. I don't want to hear nothing, bro. T.O. cooked. You let that man dog walk, yeah. He took you to Central Park. He took you to the doggy park and walked you, bro. My boy Sura up in here. Chicago Garfield Park Boxing. Y'all better know about it. Hey, please come in and smash the like button. This man Icy is a fool. What happened to your power, bro? Oh, I hate my chat. Kenya B, I love you. I hate Icy. I hate my chat, bro. Listen. You know how I'm okay. I'm an honest person. I've always been honest on my channel. I gotta keep it real and cook with y'all. I came in the game with the voice. The kid with the golden voice. I came in the game not lying to you. Double-digit years later, why would I start lying? Like, it makes no sense. Out of nowhere, why would I start lying and not being truthful when it comes to boxing content? Makes absolutely no sense for me to do that. So I got to keep it real. Now, yearly, we got now the Ring Awards. They got different various like WBC Trainer of the Year awards and stuff like that. They got to do the opposite of these awards. That's what I want to see in boxing. I don't really care about Fighter of the Year, Terrence Crawford Fighter of the Year. We know who's a good fighter. We know Crawford's good, right? I want to see all of these awards, but flipped. Like the worst fighter of the year, the worst performance of the year, the worst trainer of the year. That's the award show I would tune in for. Call me a cynic, but that's what I want to see. I don't want to see like everybody around the world knows who the good fighters are. The Gervonta Davises, the Terrence Crawford. We already know. I wanted the world to know who did the worst job. And the worst trainer, like the person to beat right now for worst trainer in boxing is Teofimo Sr. Bro, it gotta be T.O. Sr. There is no way anybody, like, it's gonna be hard this year to beat that performance. Bro, it's gonna be real hard to beat that. He the leading contender for worst trainer. The level of commentary, it wasn't even training. Like, it wasn't no like serviceable, hey, double up on the jab, circle to his left. All right, he's a southpaw, so you got to move with the left hand, like move away from. Like, it was nothing like that. He was saying like, "Where's your power?" Like, it was like whiny. What happened to the power? Hit him, bro. Bro, I almost fell out my seat when he said, "Hit him, bro." That sounded like something somebody would say, like in a street fight, like off to the side. Hit him, get him, like instigating a street fight. Yeah, kick his butt, twist his dick. You know what I mean? Like, that's like peanut gallery on a street fight. You just gotta hit him, bro. Kamal got something to say. Big Baby Miller, like him or hate him, is hilarious. He's good on the mic. I sent you TMZ Sports interview where hair companies are blowing up his DM. That is kind of funny. Use your gloves. Like, I'll give you a true life story. My pops taught me how to drive, right? So I'm like, whatever, 14, whatever age. I don't know. It was a long time ago. My pops taught me how to drive, right? And I'm a perfectionist, if you can't tell from my channel, right? I'm a perfectionist. I don't like to make mistakes. I like to be on point with mine. So when I was learning, I was like young, so I'm like a little bit nervous, right? A lot of power being behind the wheel. So my pops, all right, this is the brake, this is the gas pedal, blah, blah, blah. Pull the e-brake up if you need, parking, reverse drive. We're not going to get to the parallel parking. That's too complex. We're just doing the basics, right? And my dad, shout out to my dad, shout out to my pops. He took his time. He was telling me it helps. My dad was a mechanic, you know what I mean? Airplane and car mechanic. But he took his time. He was like, adjust your rear view mirror before you start driving, before you buckle up, adjust your mirrors, put your seatbelt on before you start driving. Under the hood, this is where if you need a refill. He taught me how to change a tire. Here's a tire iron, take the lug nuts off and wompty, pump your gas right here, and here's reverse, right? This is what my pops did. And I love my dad for that, right? What if it was T.O. Sr.? Imagine learning to drive, but it was T.O. Sr. with them corner instructions that he had over there that other night or the other weekend with the Shakur Stevenson. What if it was T.O. Sr.? Imagine that. I told you, I was nervous to drive because I was young. I was nervous. So you behind the wheel, you clenching the wheel. He in the passenger seat, and he's like, drive, bro. What are you doing? You gonna hate yourself tomorrow? Drive, bro. You gotta drive. Bro, I can't learn like that. I'm sorry. I was already nervous, so I can't learn with like, hit the gas. What are you doing? Drive, bro. Drive. Because that was the level commentary and instructions you have for your son. My dad showed me from top to bottom everything about the automobile that I needed to know to be a safe driver. You talk about some drive, bro. Hit the gas. You gonna hate yourself tomorrow if you don't hit the gas. Man, stop. That's why I get paid the big bucks. Bro, you gotta tell the fighter things that they don't see. Cause they in the fight. They getting punched on. And T.O. was getting punched on. So he might have a concussion. He might not know, exactly what's going on. So you got to be that second set of eyes. Say, dog, laughing my month. Bro, come on, hit the like button. You see, that's the problem with y'all. Y'all be like enjoying the jokes and the delivery and the live streams. And then I look at the likes and it be like, boom, 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 boom. Hey, y'all be doing me disrespectful. Y'all know I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. And then I do these lives and y'all be like, ha ha, tee hee, that was funny. I like these jokes. These are some good jokes to me. And then I end the stream and I'm like, huh? Where the lights go? Bro, come on, talk to him. Y'all be using me like this ain't a business for me. I'm gonna make y'all pay this year. You witty as hell, my G. Man, I'm just doing me. Bro. Yeah, we got a bunch of spies in the chat. First 48 month. Drive, bro. What are you doing? And to be honest, when the situation is already like uneasy or chaotic, you probably shouldn't scream like that. You know what I mean? Like you want to hear someone talking to you calm when you're already under pressure. And then after the fight, T.O. Sr., his pop's gonna do an interview. He threw his son under the bus. He threw his son under the bus crazy. I ain't never seen that. The way he threw his son under the bus was insanity. He did that interview and he was like, kind of blamed it all on his son. He kind of blamed everything on his son. Like, he was like, he didn't listen. I told him what to do. He didn't listen. But that man said, listen. Bro, he did not have to throw T.O. under the bus afterwards. T.O. Sr. threw his son under the bus so bad, he might as well did this in that interview. Hold on. Bro, I'm going to show you T.O. dad right now. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Here go T.O. Sr. The interviewer's like, what went wrong out there? Because it's probably like a UK dude. Mate, what went wrong? What went wrong with Teo? T.O. Sr. Here go T.O. Bro, there go T.O. Sr. He didn't listen, bro. You didn't do what we did in sparring, bro. I told him. He said, I told him everything, but he didn't do it, bro. Dog, here go T.O. Sr. Look. What was the main problem in the fight? What went wrong for you? T.O. Senior. Y'all see that? Y'all see that, T.O. Senior? y'all can see that? Bro, hit him! Hit him! Ah! My boy Sir said he be off the sauce or that coquilla. Bro, that man gotta be off that Blue Magic. I got Blue Magic, name brand like Pepsi. I guarantee it, my dollar, huh? Yeah. Man, I used to work for. He owned half of a business. You don't own me though. Bro, that was that Frank Lucas. Them corner instructions was Frank Lucas. That was Blue Magic, name brand like Pepsi. I guarantee it, my dollar. Huh? Bro, you was off that wet off the step or something, cause them corner instructions was not it. That was that Frank Lucas. This $25,000 alpaca. You don't wipe that. You blot that. Bro, huh? Frank Lucas with the mink. Bro, that was Frank Lucas mink up in there. You feel me? $25. Bro, my boy Denzel went off though. Yeah, okay. That's $25,000 alpaca. You don't wipe that, you blot that. Huh? Yeah, I'm leaving here with something. Huh? Bro, T.O. Senior said, I'm leaving here with something. A black eye from Shakur. Oh boy. Bro, you got beat up. Talk about black people now. How about that? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the black channels. I want to talk about the black. Yeah. Let me talk about, you were saying all that stuff about black people. Let's talk about that. Ain't no one buying T.O. singing Kumbaya. Oh, Kamal got me right focused. He got me right back focused. Pause. Bro, all of y'all clowns up in my comment section, and they gonna cry to Boxingego, the Elohim of boxing. Talking about, oh, Ego, another T.O. video. Why you making another T.O. video? There's so many things you could be talking about. Why you keep talking to T.O. the Beta? I don't want to hear it. Because black people had to listen to, process, and endure all that bull that T.O. was on. And he kept doing it. And he kept double down. Oh, black people this and where the all right. Bro, did he just say where the is that? Huh? Bro, remember he was hitting the bag. Where the knuckles at? Where the knuckle at? Playing games. I'm from the old school. You play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. You talk that shit now. Talk that monkey now. That monkey was on your ass. Jab, jab, ha 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 ha. Bro, the boy Shakur said, ha 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 ha, I buzzed it. He hit you with the old Eminem freestyle with that jab. Ha 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 ha, all right, bust it. The only man on the planet that'll drive off of the Grand Canyon and land in the handstand. Bro, he hit you with that ha 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 ha, but that old school M. Huh? I'm zoning off of one joint, stopping the limo, shopping the demo at gunpoint, a lyricist without a clue. What year is this? Here's a sword, body pierced with this. Living it up, never giving the give me the keys, I'm drunk, and I never driven the truck, but I smoke dope in the cab. I stab you with the sharpest knife I can grab, come back the next week and reopen the scab. Bro, he hit you with that Marshall Mathers. That jab was busted. Hit like the Marshall Mathers LP when it first came out. You see, I'm just Marshall Mathers. Hey, yo, You might see me walking. No, what did he say? You might see me jogging. You might see me walking. You might see me walking the dead rock while a dog with his head chopped off in the park with a spiked collar hollering at him because the son of a bitch won't quit barking. Leaning out the window with a cocked shotgun, driving up the block in the car that they pocket, looking for Big's killers, dressing ridiculous, blue and red like I don't see what the big deal is. Bro, he hit you with some of that. He hit you with that dead wrong. Like Biggie and M, you was dead wrong. You talk all that stuff about black people. I want to hear you talk about it now. He doing the cry Hallmark videos in the back, bandaged and taped up. Talking about, oh, yeah, God be punishing me. I don't know why. Bro, God is punishing you because you was talking about blacks. And then after you going to apologize for slavery. Nah, it's too late, sonny. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Talk about black. We want the blacks want to hear it now. You got the blacks' attention now. Because you got pieced up, my boy. Now, full credit to Shakur. For me, that's top 3 Shakur performance. That's top 3. I really like what I've seen from Kur. I ain't like, it's been a while as an analyst and an OG in the game. It's been a while where I had a performance like that where I ain't really even got that many critique. He critiqued T.O. face. So I don't really have I don't have too much that I could really like. I feel like it's more like brush up on this a little bit, nitpick this. That's about it. You know what I mean? That was definitely a top 3, maybe even top 1 performance, all things considered. I liked it. For me, that was probably the best. That was like the closest to the hype we get for Shakur. You see what I'm saying? I'm always gonna keep it real with you. Like where Crawford was like bigging him up, like Shakur the future and stuff. You didn't always see that. Like when he fought the African, I ain't see that he number 1 pound for pound. You fought the gods must be crazy. Some random African. Did we get him? Try again, Motosaka. Do you know who you did? You fought Michael Blackson out this bit. The air up there. That's who you was fighting. And that I think he was an African super cop. Bro, you fought an African cop from Namibia. You fought that Coming to America. She's your queen to be. Bro, you fought Simeon Akeem. Where's Akeem? Meet me at the Waldorf store. You would fight random Africans. I'm not gonna value that the same. But this Teofimo, I like that. I like what you did with Teo. Bro, this is who Shakur fought. Bro, y'all remember that movie? The Gods Must Be Crazy? Bro, this low-key looked like an African usher. This looked like Shaka Raymond. It is 7:00 on the dot. Bro, don't this look like African usher? 7:00 on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising that street. I got the real pretty thing that is waiting for me. But I pull up and in anticipation. Bro, get that African usher Raven on my screen. Kamal Oz, appreciate you. Tio Tio is going on Dr. Phil and Phil Donahue sympathy tour. Bro, I'm so done with Kamal right now, bro. Hey, come on. He said it looked like Keenan. Low down dirty, even like his brother Keenan scheming. Bro, come on. That man said Keenan everywhere. Ah! It is 7:00 on the dot. cruising the street. I am in my drop top. Real pretty. Bro, somebody said that looked like Devin Haney. Hey, the nose kind of got it. Who said that? I hate my chat. Somebody said it looked like Devin. Bro, I hate my chat, bro. I got the funniest chat. Somebody said Devin Haney took me out. I don't know which one of y'all kicked me. Bro, which one of y'all kicked me? I need to know who said that. All right. Which one of y'all kicked me? Bro, it was me. Bro, whoever said that, I can't say what I want to say, but they said Devin Haney. Oh my God, bro. Hey, Vlad said that. Vlad, hey, he got to be stopped, bro. He said an African Haney. Where is Tiger Johnson? We must find him and jump him. Bro, that's an African Haney. Bro, the African booty scratcher Haney looking for Tiger Johnson. Oh, Vlad, that was comical. You threw me off with that one. Oh my goodness, that man said African Haney. DHP. I rep DHP, Oaktown, and DHP. So I give credit where credit's due. When Shakur was fighting Unfufu, I'm not giving you all that credit. Eddie, what have you done for me lately? No. But the Teofimo, that delivered. And for me, a lot of y'all hyped up the Zepeda fight. Bro, who is Zepeda though? See, this is why a lot of us differ in the sport of boxing, right? Y'all be hyping these dudes up and they get acclaim and star status and this mythical legendary status and they didn't do nothing. Bro, I'm Roger Mayweather with it. I'm the new Roger. Rest in peace to Roger. But I'm the new Roger Mayweather incarnate. Right? When he was like, we beat. He ain't beat no motherfucker. Okay. Bro, who he beat? Shakur was like pretty much neck and neck with Williams or who he beat. Motherfucker ain't beat nobody. He ain't beat nobody, bro. But he can't whoop my nephew. Bro, that's how Roger Mayweather would say it. Who he beat, man? Ain't beat nobody. He can't whoop Little Floyd. He can't beat my nephew. Bro, who is Williams Zepeda like that? He was a guy coming off an injury. He already had ducked Shakur, so he really didn't want the smoke. Smoking on top 5. Smoking on that guy. Right? He didn't really want the smoke. Golden Boy probably didn't really want the smoke. And then he arguably lost 1 or 2 fights to Tevin Farmer, who later got destroyed by Floyd Schofield in 1 round. So it's like, where did this whole, like, Williams Zepeda is like Illa, where did that even come from? I'm so lost. I don't know. I never rated him like that. It was y'all. Y'all was the one, oh, but Zepeda. Like, I never thought Zepeda was it like that. So for me, it was entertaining. Shakur fought toe to toe, but I didn't like that performance from Shakur. He was getting touched up. He was getting touched up by someone he shouldn't be getting touched up with. Put it that way. Yeah, same thing with Triple G. Hyped up Adama and Macklin. Yeah, bro. You know they was doing that for Golovkin. Yeah, no, yeah, bro. They was definitely doing that for Golovkin and Loma. But we know why they was doing it for them. Yeah, no, guys, my big drama, guys. We know why they was big drama and all that for them. But yeah, I never looked at Williams Zepeda as like the guy that beat Shakur ever. Listen, I don't think I've ever picked against Shakur. For real, for real. Do the Triple G Eminem song. Yeah, I sit back with this pack of zigzags in his bag of this wind against me. And most me, MC, on his ear, on his earth, and the breath and the cuts and bro, that's how Triple G would do it. That's how Golovkin would do it. I ain't never picked against Shakur. To be honest, I just thought about that. I ain't never picked against him. Yeah, I sit back with this bag of zigzags. Yeah. I ain't pick against Shakur. I didn't think Valdez was gonna beat him. I was right. Christopher Pitbull Diaz. I ain't picked none of these dudes. Kansasi Howell and Nakatomi Plaza from Die Hard or whatever. I ain't picked none of them dudes to beat him. I never thought none of them dudes was capable of beating him. And I didn't pick Tio. I was 100% right. I said Shakur by decision. Surprise, it was Shakur by decision. Stop playing with me. I'm the GOAT. His pints and knife and tick, 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 knife. Yeah, so I keep getting my predictions right. What else you want from me? It really not even just predictions, my assessments. I get my assessments right. You gotta hit him, bro. Y'all tripping in here. Shakur was out here fighting Michael Blackson, absolutely. So I give respect to the TO fight because you put it all in and put it all together. But I will say this. A lot of boxing fans are fraudulent. They don't know more than me. They not nicer than me. And a lot of you guys are prisoners of the moment. And I hate it. And I hate y'all for it. Like, for example, Gervonta Davis, right? Oh, why are you bringing up Tank? Because you ain't going to do nothing about it. How about that? Every time I talk about Tank, when I randomly bring it up because it pertains, people, they be like, why'd you bring up Tank? Because you ain't going to stop me. That's why. I know that for a fact. You're not going to stop me from talking about whatever I want to talk about. And then when I don't even be talking about Tank, y'all bring up Tank. Tank actually applies here. But anywho, prisoners of the moment, and then now Shakur would whoop everybody. Like, the game don't work like that. Credit to you beat who you beat, Teofimo. But now y'all doing too much because, again, prisoner of the moment. Tank, last fight was a draw. Jake Paul fight canceled. Legal issues, this manhunt or whatever y'all was talking about, right? So in Tank recent news, he's not coming off a knockout. Fight got canceled. Legal trouble. So people are using this as a catalyst to front on Gervonta Davis, right? Like Gervonta Davis is, passe or something. Like Paulie Malignaggi and these dudes. Believe that if you want. Chai Sun, we don't care. We don't know who you are. So we don't really care what you're talking about. Tank couldn't beat Roach. I thought he did beat Roach. So there's that. Second of all, Lamont Roach is not Shakur, vice versa. Lamont Roach took penitentiary chances and stayed in pocket with Tank and fought his fight, right? So not you got this is how I know who don't know ish about boxing, because you guys act like fighters and styles are just one and the same. Like it's interchangeable. Like it's a Gerald Miller wig, a Gerald Miller toupee. You could just pick one off the shelf and plop it on your head. Boxing don't work like that. Like, for example, you could be like, oh, but Margarito beat Cotto, so Zab Judah is going to beat him. Zab ain't got nothing to do with Margarito. Margarito 5'11", got a crazy chin in his prime. Zab Judah not 5'11" with Margarito's chin, so therefore it's going to be a different fight. So yeah, all this extra stuff about he beat everybody. Like, what are we talking about? Like, kudos to Shakur. I'm not taking anything away from his performance, but you guys, a lot of you, do not live in reality. You live in la la land, right? Where you overrate people and then overappreciate people. Like, here's a good analogy for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. If you're like a diamond or like a gem collector, right? And you're at the top of your craft, you got to know the difference between a diamond and cubic zirconian. And then if you're appraising, you're like doing appraisals, you should try to estimate the value of the gem, the gemstone or whatever, pretty closely if you're really good at your job. A lot of boxing fans, because they're casual in nature, their appraisals be horrible, right? It'll be like a cubic zirconian, and then they'll overrate it like it's a diamond. That's what y'all do to fighters, right? Like, I'm not trying to knock nobody, but like William Zepeda, y'all act like he Oscar De La Hoya, but he never did Oscar De La Hoya stuff. He didn't have De La Hoya's amateur Olympic gold background. He didn't have De La Hoya's skill set. But then y'all just like, oh, Zepeda's coming for Shakur. Based on what? Like, what made you think that he was going to win? Right? And then even with Tio, I respect Shakur. I just told you it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite performance from Shakur. But you guys take what should be all complimentary, and because you start typing stupid stuff and get your appraisals wrong, you'll start bringing in other fighters and, oh, but Floyd Schofield and Abdullah Mason and Tank and Devin Haney, like, these are all separate, independent fights. Devin Haney don't fight like T.O. So you can't just surmise that the outcome is exactly the same. Tank, no, he got more power than T.O. I've been told y'all that. Listen to people who interview about Tank. They talking about he hit like a middle and super middleweight and stuff. Luis Cuba Arias. Go watch them bigger people Tank sparred. So off that alone, it shows me who knows boxing. T.O. may as well been there by himself. His team couldn't even stop his cut from bleeding. That's a great point from Icy, a real boxer. Um, I called that on my watch party in real time. T.O. stood up. The bell was sounding, so he stood up out off the stool. And immediately as he stood up, blood started trickling down. He didn't get touched. He didn't get moved. And blood started trickling. Your team is terrible, bro. Your team is terrible. Cornering advice was pathetic. You got a cut, which it wasn't the worst cut I've seen. You're dealing with a muff that was at Badu Jack and Marcus Brown fight live, where Badu Jack had the slit. He had a slit in his head. And bro, he looked like Red Skull from Captain America. I was at the fight. I was credentialed for that fight. It was on the Pacquiao Broner undercard. That's how my memory works in Vegas. So I seen Badu Jack with probably one of the nastiest cuts I've ever seen live, right? T.O.'s cut really wasn't that bad for it to profusely be bleeding. Rest in peace to Rafael Garcia. That's a real cut, man. Because Floyd was leaky in the Maidana fight. And Maidana's a lot better and a lot more dangerous than Teofimo based on his style and his power. And in the first Maidana fight, Floyd got a cut. And rest in peace to my boy Rafael Garcia. He had patched up Floyd, and I don't think the cut ever came into play again. Tio stands up off his stool and he bleeding. Rush hour. Wipe yourself off. You're bleeding. Bro, that Juntao. He had that Juntao. He had that Juntao blood on him. Stood up off the stool and wipe yourself off. You are bleeding. Wipe yourself off. You dead. that's what black people were saying after the Shakur fight ended. Wipe yourself off. You dead. He ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3. Bro, that's what we were saying. Listen, all the blacks from around the world was like, ding dong. He ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3. So yeah, when Tio stood up, that's a great point from Icy. When Tio stood up and blood was leaking in the round and even started, you have an inept team, bro. I'm just being real. I'm not saying that you would have beat Shakur with any team, but your team could at least push you in the right direction or anchor you down. And Tio's team anchored him down, right? It might not have made a difference in terms of you getting the actual win. This was a breakdown. Tio got broken down. Bro, Shakur hit him with that bone in Mariah. Break down. Steady breaking me on down. Break down. Steady breaking me on down. Hit him with the breakdown. Yeah, Shakur looks sweet in here. Much respect. That to me, that was Shakur's like first grown man performance. Like for me, like grown man. What did Jay say? Grown man, I put hands on you, lay out blueprint plans on you, re-rap Pat, let Sam Tap dance on you. Then I Sinatra shot you. God, I put the boy in the box like David Blaine. Let the audience watch. That was the first George Bush the button. Y'all wish I was fronting that George Bush the button type of performance from me, from Shakur. He had some other good ones, but that to me, that was like grown man. He didn't get touched. He didn't fight foolish. He didn't make no mistakes. He looked closer to the fighters of yesteryear than any of his other performances. Because even when he fought Valdez, he said he got hit in the stomach or something. He said he got hit in the body and it hurt. And he was hurt from it. You didn't get tapped. So even Valdez got a little bit of a reaction at you. Tio ain't do nothing. Breaking T-Ho cries and apologizes, donning a dashiki, and announces a plan to take a tour to Africa for Black History Month in an interview with Oprah. Kamal is big trolling. Shout out to Kamal. What's up, pimp? This threats. I've been making threats since I was in kindergarten. Yeah. Bro, that threats is hilarious. Nigga, pull up my panel off and sweep. Bro, that's what I should have said on the watch party for Shakur. Nigga, Shakur put a mop handle off and swept. He swept him. Bro, that should have been my commentary. That threats. Cause that's what Shakur. Nigga, jab your face off and sweep. Shakur got busy. That was crazy. Top 3 J album. Yeah, I gotta put that up there. That don't got no skips for me. I could listen to that straight through. That and Blueprint. Straight through. I also like seeing a young fighter under 30 use a jab and stick to it. I don't know why fighters hate using the jab this new era. That jab will take you to the promised land. You use that stick That jab, Awimbawe, in the jungle. Bro, that's going to take you to the motherland, to the promised land. And then after the fight, Tio put his fist up like he was a brother, man. Listen, I said, Awimbawe. That jab will take you to the promised land, the motherland. After the fight, Tio put his fist up like he was a brother, man. Bro, the man apologized for slavery. Get him out of here. That's how you know you're doing wrong. Gonna lock you up. That's how you know you're doing wrong. The fact that you felt you needed to apologize for slavery proves everything. Where that rat? Yeah. Where that rat? Where that rat? He was in front of you for 12 rounds, big dog. Why you ain't hit him, big dog? T.O. Pops couldn't even stop Junior's cut from bleeding. Hashtag trash. Yeah. Bro, pull out that banana now because you got your banana split. Donkey Kong. Don't come in my channel kicking and screaming, saying I'm wrong. T.O. like to call black people monkeys. He got his banana split. I call it Donkey Kong. That's a bar. Bro, I said, don't come into my chat kicking and screaming, telling me I'm wrong. When Tio was talking about black people, calling them monkeys. And then he got his banana split. I call that Donkey Kong. Bars. Bro, you were talking all this watermelon, the monkey. Yeah. Well, Congo beat the out of you. Mighty Joe Young beat the out you. Bro, let the monkey, bro. This monkey was out here like Caesar from Planet of the Apes. Go! if that's what we doing. Bro, remember my boy Caesar in Planet of the Apes? And all the apes had to bow down and then extend their hand out? If you call this man a monkey and black people monkeys, that was that scene in Planet of the Apes. All the monkeys. and the monkey had to bow down to Caesar. Y'all remember that? All the monkeys were like, and he had to extend his hand, and Caesar just boom, boom, bro. He had to submit to Caesar. That's what Shakur did. You want to talk to his monkeys, bro? Ain't nobody playing these games. So you know you're doing wrong. You had to apologize for slavery. That would be like Shakur apologizing for ICE. Like, why would he apologize for ICE? He had nothing to do with it. Bro, let the monkey get a piece. Let the monkeys get a piece if that's what we do it. The monkey was piecing you up, swinging from the tree, whatever you was talking about. This looked like Kane whooping your ass the other night. Ain't nobody playing this monkey. Tio out here like Remy in Higher Learning. Michael Rappaport. He's like, you ain't nothing but a white boy with a fucked up haircut. And he balled up his fist. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember Higher Learning? Rest in peace, John Singleton. Where my boy Omar Epps was like, you ain't nothing but a white boy with a fucked up haircut. And then Remy pulled the switch out on him. You're nothing, man. You're a monkey. You're a monkey, Malik. You're nothing. And why you had to pull the switch out? Because he didn't want to see, bro, he ain't had no squabbles. Remy ain't had no squabbles. He had to pull the switchy out. You're nothing, man. You're nothing. You're a monkey. 1995, coon. Bro, y'all remember that? That Higher Learning? I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite parts of Higher Learning. When Remy was on the roof sniping ish, like bah, 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 and he clapped Tyra. If you ain't seen it by now, you tripping anyway. Anyway, Remy was on the roof. Then he dumped it. Then he was like running like down the stairs or whatever. And then Omar was running up the stairs and he rushed him. Bro, that is such a dope scene. Hey, Omar needed an Oscar for that. Let my boy Omar Epps shine. Let my boy Omar. Somebody said Busta Rhymes. Man, my knuckles all swollen. Bro, he said my knuckles swole. Bro, watch that scene again. Omar, he really rushed Remy. And bap! And started, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. You gonna die. The way he said die was classic. When he was choking him, he was like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you, man. You gonna die. Oscar. Give that man an Oscar. The way he said die was too elite. Kill you. I'm gonna kill you. You gonna die. Classic. That looked like Shakur when Remy got caught in the stairwell. Bro, he meant that. I be knowing my movies. Y'all know that. But yeah, bro, ain't nobody have no sympathy for T.O. except for mostly race fans and probably content creators who got it wrong and picked T.O., people who bet on T.O. There ain't no sympathy over here. Live by the sword, by the sword. Period. So Shakur did his thing. He definitely got off on the boy. I enjoyed his performance. You know, as far as people, it was boring and stuff. We can't pay that no mind, bro. The haters are gonna hate. What we saw was Shakur got off, used his tools. And what I did like about Shakur, see, this how you know that in boxing, the black fighter is under attack. Let me explain it. This is how you know they're under attack from old media. Because the black fighter don't even be running in a lot of these occurrences, but then the comments will be like, oh, he's a runner. He ran. That's how I know you're lying and these dudes be racist. Because you'll take a performance like that and still call the black fighter a runner. And the person, Shakur, was literally in front of him for probably the whole fight almost. And his defense was sweet. And then how you still get called a runner. So we know that the word runner to them is basically, you could switch that out. It's synonymous for the N-word. You a ninja. That's what they're saying. Because I could understand if it was a fight where somebody used a lot of foot speed, a lot of movement, right? And then somebody was like, it was boring, he ran and all that. And another reason I know what I'm talking about is when it's a non-black fighter, peep this. When it's a non-black fighter and they actually run, these same people never call the person with the complexion for the protection a runner. Ninja, you be attacking them. Block them. Block really fee. He said, Ninja, you be attacking them. Bro, I never said Shakur was a runner. That's cap. Boo! Get him out of here. Anywho, when the fighter is a non-black fighter and actually runs, like Jake Paul. Remember when Jake Paul fought big old Anthony Joshua? It's mad. Meet with me. It's mad, man. Right? When he fought Anthony Joshua, he literally was like cutting turf, moving all around, not winning the rounds, backpedaling. None of these dudes called Jake Paul a runner. You remember that? Jermaine Ortiz versus T.O. Some people said they didn't like it, but they weren't like real hard on the runner talk. Remember when Canelo, I was at the fight, at the first Canelo Golovkin fight, where Canelo was on his bike because Triple G had that, hey, no guys for him. He had that, hey, no guys waiting for him. And Canelo was on his bike until he got tired. See, the only reason he didn't stay on his bike is because Canelo got tired because Triple G had power and a very good presence. He would keep putting pressure on you. He would keep applying that pressure, so you're naturally going to fatigue anyway unless you're on PEDs. And then on top of that, Triple G had very good presence where he put that presence. I talked to Peter Quillen, shout out to my dude Kid Chocolate. Back in the day, he interviewed and he sparred with Triple G, and that's one of the things he stuck out that he told me. He said Triple G had a crazy presence where you just felt that he was in the ring, like you couldn't get like the boogeyman, like Michael Myers, you couldn't get away and like get no breathing room. He just be like, be there. Jermaine Ortiz is Puerto Rican. He Puerto Rican, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it'd be like other people actually be running and not having a game plan, and they never get called a runner. And actually, in this Shakur fight, T.O. in the back half of it, there were rounds where he was backpedaling. So Shakur, the guy moving up, was actually driving the guy with more experience and the champion back. That's why you got to respect the art of boxing. You got to respect the sweet science, because the sweet science can have you moving up in weight, called pillow fisted, and then by the end of the fight, you're pushing your opponent back, and they don't got no, you know what I mean? They ain't got no motion. Breaking, T.O. names his newborn son Kunta Kinte. Pff, wow. I meant to say Kunta. King Kunta. King Kunta. Bro, he said names his son Kunta Kinte. Kamal out here tripping. Naming his son Kunta Kinte. I got a bone to pick. I don't want you in my throwing again. I'm mad. But I ain't stressing. Where you and I was walking. Bro, shout out to Kendrick. Where you and I was walking. Now I run the gang, got the whole gang talking King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off of Kunta. Black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Yeah, bro. Kunta. King Kunta. At least Zepeda was somewhat in Shakur chest, putting pressure. T.O. couldn't even get in pocket. I knew in round 1 or 2 that T.O. had nothing for Shakur. And I was pretty much alluding to that on my watch party if you pay attention. His game plan was horrible. His dad provided no essential ways to change the ebb and flow. And T.O., you know, what this fight looked like to me, I got the perfect example. This fight to me was the first round of the Kambosos fight, but for 12 rounds. You see what I'm saying? So picture how T.O. fought Kambosos, and he did that for 12 rounds. Like round 1 of the Kambosos fight, but for 12 rounds versus Shakur. That's pretty much what the fight was. No adjustment, no self-belief, no turning it around. Everything was a no, bro. Just like in the Kambosos fight, he just jumping, leaping, flying in out of range. Bro, you're not gonna catch Shakur when you're like 5 feet back. You're not Roy Jones. You know what? T.O., that's what it is. T.O. is like, he like a great value Honduran Roy Jones. So not the real, because Roy is my favorite fighter. He's one of my favorite fighters. Not the real, but like a great value. Like, and let me put it like this. You know, when you go to the store, you go to Safeway or whatever, Publix, wherever stores you guys got, and they got Mountain Dew, right? They had like on the shelf, like Mountain Dew and maybe Sierra Mist back in the day, right? Tio is where the soda, you could tell it looked like Mountain Dew, but the label looked much cheaper. Right? The label looked cheap, but it looked like Mountain Dew and it got a different name. So you're like, oh man, get that Mountain Dew. And then you look right next to it, it said Cliff Piss. You're like, what the hell is Cliff Piss? Cliff Piss is the knockoff of Mountain Dew, right? Or you got Dr. Pepper. It'd be a Dr. Pepper bottle, and then it'd be Dr. Skipper, Dr. Kevorkian, or some soda that looked like the label to Dr. Pepper, but it really be a knockoff version that the store trying to make money. Dr. Skipper, Dr. Dre, Dr. Salt. Like, come on, bro. Get this fake Dr. Pepper. That's Tio. It's like a, or they do it with cereals too. Cliff Piss, absolutely. And please print that. Cereals be like that, dude. You know, like it'll be Toucan Sam, and Toucan Sam look healthy and good, and Fruit Loops, motherfucker. It'd be like fruity O-rings, and the bird be a parakeet on crutches. I'm like, where Toucan Sam at? Who is this? Who is this pigeon? You got a pigeon on the cover. Y'all know them knockoff cereals. It can't be me. It can't just be me. Them knockoff cereals that look kind of like the real cereal. I seen a Frosted Flake knockoff. It was called like Icy Flakes. Shout out to my boy Icy. It was called something like that. Some fake Frosted Flake, and then Tony Tiger looked like he was in the methadone clinic. He looked all sucked up on Ozempic. Dr. Flipper. Yeah, all that. Bro, Tony Tiger be on Ozempic. Looking hurt. Pockets looking hurt. He ain't booked no jobs. He unemployed. He ain't booked no jobs in months. He got a 5 o'clock shadow. Like, where Tony the Tiger at? This is Cyrus the Tiger. We don't know him. Tyler the Tiger out this month. Bro, if you don't get this Bollywood Tiger Flakes, who is that? You see, bro, all they do is change. What? What is this? Bro, look, it ain't even a tiger no more. It's a polar bear. Look, they got the Frosted Flakes. They just changed the animal to a polar bear. Where Tony the Tiger at, bro? We don't know you for this. Bro, if they don't move this polar bear up out here, bro, they just gonna put a random polar bear up there. Icy would buy that cereal. He too cheap to buy the expensive kind. He gonna buy the knockoff. Somebody said it looked like Eric Sermon, the generic version. That is gonna be a lawsuit. Bro, I know Icy didn't just say Bobby the Bear. Y'all be tripping in my chat. Bobby the Bear, though, is crazy. Bro, this really is Bobby the Bear. Who is this? Bro, they really got Bobby the Bear Frosted Flakes. I see a fool. That's hilarious. Bobby the Bear. Yeah, he look like Bobby Brown. He not doing well right now. Yeah, Teofimo, like that fake Roy Jones, it it might work against like Richard Comey. That's not gonna work on Shakur. You got to really be Roy. You got to really like be him. And to prove my point, notice Teofimo when boxing is the type of sport that'll humble you so crazy where you'll see a person's real character because Teofimo immediately dropped the whole entire act by the end of the fight. You see what I'm saying? And for me, I don't really respect that. I feel like if you want to be this villain, you want to be this showstopper, you want to be this showman, you got to be that to the death. You know, you got to be that through in and throughout. That's what I truly believe. I don't believe I don't believe in halfway crooks. Like you wanted to be this infamous like talking about black people or the showman and doing Fortnite dances and hitting the backflip. Even if you lose, I still want to see that character you was before. But one, Tio sounded like he was finna cry. Facts. He sounded like, and he was talking about, oh man, I don't know why, but God be punished me. And then he got on some kumbaya. I don't want to hear that. I can at least respect it when somebody was a villain, and then like Antonio Margarito. Antonio Margarito fight with Cotto, his eye looked horrible, and the fight got stopped, right? The fight got stopped, and Antonio Margarito still gonna act. He was still like, he'll like flip off the crowd, like, but like he was still mean. This new generation is soft, bro. I know not everybody. There's some people like Icy, they're good. But a lot of these people in this new generation, you come in the softened generation, bro. I'm here to tell y'all. Because like Ray Mercer was mean. Even fighters more recent, Terrence Crawford is mean. That's why he taunted Senior after because he's a competitor. He's spiteful. He's competitive, and he love who he love. So people got mad at Crawford. I'm not. Why would I be mad at Crawford? T.O. keep talking crazy. T.O. keep talking about black people. T.O. kept saying he wanted to scrap with Bud, and then his homie just destroyed T.O. in one of his best performances. Why would I be mad at Crawford for celebrating and taunting? You didn't care when T.O. Sr. was dancing and T.O. was dancing and when they was the ones with the gimmick before the fight. So how are you going to get mad at the black fighters after the fight for being petty? And fair play, Shakur wasn't even petty. He was like, I thanked him for his time, da-da-da-da. Shakur, as a man, he knew he had dethroned and whooped the man, so he didn't even take it there. He was just being respectful. I thanked him for his time and giving me the opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not mad. Like, I come from a different generation, bro. Don't start none, won't be none. You can dish it out, but you can't take it. T.O. and his dad, they wreaked havoc and like said certain things or did certain things. Shakur, you don't have no power. What are you doing? Like all this stuff. And then when it don't go your way, the true character come out. Be the same person. You was at the weigh-in like this. Zen master, you know, with cupping marks on you and your back, and you're the stoic master and the master of Zen monk mode or whatever you were trying to do. So why would I want to hear you when you get whooped up by Shakur and all of a sudden you sound like you finna cry? You're no longer stoic. You said all this stuff about black people in the last few years, and then after it's like, hey, I never wanted nothing wrong with you guys, and I always wanted the best for you guys. I'm sorry for slavery. Who want to hear that now? You had ample time to correct your behavior, and you chose to go out how you go out. Like here's a great example. Y'all know I'm a movie buff. If the movie is 2 hours long, and this character has been trying to kill Tom Cruise for 1 hour and 45 minutes in the movie, finally Tom Cruise beats the character in the last 15 minutes of the movie, and compromise shot the character, and the character ain't got no more outs, no more weapons or nothing. and then now you're like falling off a cliff, and now you want Tom Cruise to save you. Grab my hand, help pull me up, bro. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Like Bishop and Juice, you was Bishop for most of the movie, popping everybody, still Rodamez, this scared. Like the whole movie, you've been this way. And at the end, don't let me go, Q. No, you're finna fall off the roof. That's the generation I come from. You can't switch up in the last 15 minutes of a 2-hour movie. I'm sorry. We're not accepting that. You wanted to talk about black people. People warned you. People say, hey, come on, chill out. We don't know if you mean it, but it is distasteful at best. Chill. Chill out, Smokey. It ain't. And then now you're, don't let me go, Q. Sometimes you got to take a lose. You got to take a loss. No, we're not trying to hear these Instagram quotes and captions and stuff about sometimes you lose and only to bounce back higher. No, be the same person, bro. Ego, I know T.O.'s dad advice was god awful for secure, but it isn't common in some way, shape, or form in training camp to establish language. Bro, I'm not. What are you even talking about, bro? Why did you get my attention to say that? I'm not. You're trying to justify horrible cornering. Be gone. Oh man, it's the language and terminology, bro. The corner advice, there's no in between. It's either good or bad. It's either serviceable things you can implement that are corrective in nature, which T.O. needed a lot of because he was losing from round one on, right? Or continue to lose. So things that could at least help you get out the hole that you're in, or things that won't help you. And it was either all of his advice was either neutral or negative in terms of it wasn't going to fix the problem. Like not even close. And this is the problem with the boxing dad sometimes is the emotion. I get it. You want your son to win. You don't want to pull the plug. You almost could have pulled the plug on the fight, to be honest, because your son wasn't doing it. If he wasn't listening, like, why not have that hard conversation? Hey, you're not listening to me. I'm giving you great advice, which he wasn't, but I'm giving you great advice. I'm going to give you 1 or 2 more rounds. If you don't show me something, I'm throwing in the towel. You dig? It's very simple. That's how I like to hear corner talk. You show me that again, like Buddy McGirt, former fighter, real trainer, real fighter, real trainer. Kovalev was getting crushed up by Anthony Yard, almost got knocked out. His trainer at the time, Buddy McGirt, said, listen, if I see another round like that, I'm stopping this fight. But these boxing fathers are emotional and vicariously living through their sons, Bill Haney, Teofimo. So their pride and ego, no pun intended, won't allow them to end the fight when their sons aren't performing and when their sons are getting bashed up and hurt and getting embarrassed. So you end up making it worse by extending the punishment, extending the embarrassment, right? It's like you pull the dagger out slowly or you just get it over with. You know what I mean? Or if you really like option B, I'm like ChatGPT. I'm gonna give you a couple different alternate ways out. Or what you could do if you're absolutely hell bent, like, hey, I can't put that TKO on my son's record off of this fight. What you can do is tell him some things that put some pep in his step. Like, if I see another round like that, I'm canceling the fight. And then maybe you could wake your dog up or wake the dog up in him. And if he's flat, then he deserves to have the fight canceled. So you at least gave him his own like key to his own destiny, right? If you say, I'm gonna give you a round or two, if they're not looking better and you just keep losing and getting cut up more and like almost dropped in one of the rounds late, then I'm stopping the fight. That's fair too. So I don't like premature stoppages or like mercy stoppages, but if your fighter's not performing, you have to either what I just said, learn how to communicate what they need to do. And if they're not making any attempt, they might have a concussion or something in which you would pull the plug. You see what I'm saying? Like, if your fighter's not responding, they might be like so mentally gone and checked out. They might have a concussion or brain issues. So you have to make the decision for them. But these boxing dads, they want to live through their son a lot of times. So they never gonna let it be that. They want their son to fight with a broken bicep or a torn bicep, concussion. They don't care. They just like, no, we can't end it because it would be embarrassing for me in the corner and all that. So you can't think like that in boxing because this could be a matter of like permanent damage, could be fatal, all that type of stuff. So you got to think of the fighter always. And that's what I believe in. So T.O. Sr. would have had to either A, tell your son what to do that would actually maybe slow Shakur down or maybe have him win a round, or you have to consider like maybe even stopping it. If you can't get everything we did in camp, you're not doing. Everything we discussed, you're looking totally different. I mean, what else are you going to do? You just want to watch your son get beat up for 12 rounds against a master boxer? I mean, I guess. But I don't see what that does with the fighter long term. And then when the fighter, now you have them mentally, physically, and spiritually broken when they could have just been the mental pain and a little bit of physical pain because you stopped the fight in round 7. You know what I mean? So I don't believe in it's a fine line, but I don't think you need to extend something longer than it needs to be. Some fights, it's a mismatch almost. You know what I mean? And you got to determine what it should be. Nobody wants a stoppage loss. I get it. Nobody want that. But, I mean, you got to do something about it or, like, wake your fighter up or just watch him get cooked and then not tell him anything and then do interviews after and throw him under the bus and blame him. This is why I told you from jump, I'm not picking Teofimo over Shakur. I told you, consistency. Teo had always shown me this. That's why some of you guys are even blowing this up like this was like an upset or like it's shocking. Teo has skills, yes. He has good style. He's a good fighter. I'm not taking that away from him. But in boxing, physical is one thing. Mental is much more. Give me a fighter with minimal respectable power like Shakur and Floyd, and really Floyd at the higher divisions where everyone was bigger, not Lil Floyd and Pretty Boy, right? Give me that over a mentally weak guy with power like Victor Ortiz. T.O. is Victor Ortiz 2.0. Yeah, I said it. Prince Nassim Ahmed 2.0. A lot of pizzazz, a lot of flash, good style, can beat a lot of styles, but up against a Marco Antonio Barrera, you got chopped up surgically with good old-fashioned boxing. Right? Victor Ortiz, you trying to kiss on Floyd. He not for that. You already apologized. You headbutted him for no reason. Let's get it on. That's why you got knocked out with a 2-piece. Victor Ortiz status. Mentally checked out. He was competitive with Maidana. Victor Ortiz is all at the prime. Southpaw. He was pretty big for the weight class. Power, speed, explosive. Same thing like T.O. But if that mental ain't, bro, that's why y'all got to give it up. Y'all be hating on these black fighters, but give it up. These black fighters be tough. These black fighters be tough and then don't get credit for being tough. Black people in general are tough. Look at what black people have endured throughout U.S. history or world history for that. Look at the resilience black people show to deal with this and still have to get through it and bounce back from it. You know what I mean? And then y'all just like surmise it as, oh, these blacks are running and all that. Like, look at Devin Haney even, right? For Devin Haney, the man got chopped up by Ryan, who popped dirty and had to listen to the whole internet roast him, a million memes about him, and then came back to win his next 2 fights, especially an important championship fight with Brian Norman. T.O. didn't even have no performance quite like Devin getting cooked by Ryan, and then he can't mentally win George Kambosos' fight. You can't convincingly beat Sandor Martin. Can't convincingly beat Jermaine Ortiz. You got slaughtered by Shakur. Mental, I'm telling you, that mental go a long way. And that's why I don't believe in gimmicks. I don't believe in like Boxingego. I'm not a gimmick. What you see is what you get. If you talk to me in person, I'm a real person. I'm a real man. I don't care about boxing. I mean, I care about it, but I don't care more than my manhood. So I'll never let like all these little comments y'all be leaving on this stuff. That's cool. Keep it on the internet. Keep it on that internet. You know what I mean? That's some internet stuff. Oh, ego, you all right? Bet. Tell me that when you see me. And I don't play no tough guy act or whatever and do all that. But yeah, I don't believe in gimmicks and like the fake showman. And then the moment it goes wrong with it, all that showman stuff is out. That's how you know who's like really real and like really got it like that. Like because when it's not working, all that showman stuff, like Tio was dancing numerous times in the buildup. Where was the dance moves when Shakur was cooking you though? If you're a real showman, it don't matter who you in there with, you doing the same type of stuff. Floyd Mayweather, he do the same. He was talking trash to Berto. Berto was fast. Andre Berto is explosive and powerful, right? He was talking trash to Berto, talking in a mid-fight. You could get bowed. You could get caught with something talking. He was talking to Shane Mosley. He was like, shut up and fight. Shut up, Shane. Shut up and fight, bro. Doing the same stuff. So the same stuff you see in the doghouse, you seen Floyd implement in real time. Tio, he does jump rope and doing all the jump rope and the training and crisscrossing and all that, and then dancing and J. Cole music and hitting the Dougie. You doing all that, and then at the weigh in, like, Jabberwocky, you doing all that. But then when you get in the fight with Shakur, all that stuff was deceased. All that stuff was dead. You feel me? Shout out to the Haitians too. Berto is strong. Anyway, I gave y'all a good show. Subscribe to the channel. I got an unpack coming tonight. Check that out. It'll be out 11:30 my time. Peace.